Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Jeff Flash, and I'm back with another voice comparison reaction video. Actually, let me turn those lights back off. That little light's kind of getting in the way. I was going to try to do it with the lamp on, but it's kind of getting a little bit in the way of the camera. See, look at that. That kind of actually looks more brighter. I mean, these lights in here in this room really do work. You know, it's my night lights, and it's a clearer picture, even though it's a little dark. But anyway, so I'm back with another voice comparison reaction video. So earlier today, I did the Vision, and I did tell you that I was going to go to Walgreens to get some photos printed out to update my room. You know, I hang them in the wall of memories that's right in front of my TV where I play my video games at. And I did just that. The photos are printed right here in this little bag, a little package thing that I got from Walgreens. It's sitting on my bed, and after this video, I will hang them up. I'll put some tape on them and maybe even rearrange some of the photos, and you'll see what it'll look like afterwards, because after this video, I will make a vlog video, a little vlog video updating about my room, and you'll get to see the photos there by then, and I also will post them on Instagram and maybe even possibly Snapchat as well, so you'll get to see the photos again by then. So they're pretty good as well. They're pretty good photo. I printed like 10 different ones out. Pretty much 8 of them were from memories from like either this year or last year or 2021. And 2 of them were also photo edits that Alex did for me. You know, him and his editing work where he did the photo edits. 2 of them are the Equestria Girl photo edits. I printed some more out. So yeah, it was pretty fun. It took a little bit of time, but it was a good little spree. We went to McDonald's for something to eat, my mom and I, and then we went to Walgreens to print some photos out. It was a little cold in both McDonald's and Walgreens, and we went to Walmart and got some extra stuff, and here we are. We've been back at home for only about, I think about an hour or something now. I don't know. Maybe 2 hours. I don't know, but yeah, we haven't really, so that's what we really did most of the day. It was actually a good little shopping spree. I actually did enjoy it. It was pretty nice. And I actually forgot to mention that it's a 3-week break, so a 3-day weekend. So Monday we actually won't be going back to college. I forgot, I would have mentioned that it was going to be another weekend. I did say in my last video it was a weekend, but I forgot to mention it was a 3-day weekend, because on Monday it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we're having that Monday off, so I won't be going back to college till Tuesday. So if I'm lucky enough that maybe if I have some videos I might want to do on Monday, I can do that by then too. So we'll see. That's my friend Narrowly, by the way. She's one of my supportive fans and one of my good friends as well. I'll text her in a little bit after this video. But anyway, so I'm going to do another character voice comparison from the Marvel Universe. As I mentioned, I only had 2 more Marvel superheroes that I wanted to do in voice comparisons, and then I'm going to take a hiatus from the voice comparison videos, and then I might check out that other series I mentioned in my last video with Vision, which will be probably the My Little Pony Meets series by Toucan LDM, or might even start watching individual videos related to My Little Pony, because as I mentioned, the My Little Pony is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, and as well as the Equestria Girls will be celebrating its 10th anniversary, and you know, when those days do come, I do have something special planned, and might even do some more, so yeah. I just really want to get back to doing some My Little Pony related stuff, you know, I haven't really done it that much, but anyway. This next character that I'll be doing for voice comparison video from the Marvel superheroes is none other than the one and only Carol, well, I don't remember what her last name is, I know it's Carol something. Carol Danvers, I think that's her name, Carol Danvers, I don't know, but you know her better as Miss Marvel, or as the original Miss Marvel, but now she goes by Captain Marvel, so you could pretty much call her Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, whatever you want to call her, but she currently goes by Captain Marvel in the Marvel Universe, because we have a new Miss Marvel who goes by the name Kamala Khan. She's our current Miss Marvel, but Carol is the original Miss Marvel, but nowadays people now know her as Captain Marvel. There was a Captain Marvel originally back in the earlier days in Marvel. It was a male Captain Marvel, but he died and was killed off of, like, everything related to Marvel, so then they just went off with Carol being the new Captain Marvel. So, yeah. It's pretty interesting storylines, but anyway, Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call her. Carol, pretty interesting character. You know, I don't really have that much care for her either, but she's a very powerful character, very strong. You know, she's incredibly strong and very powerful. You know, she had a demon side, like Binary. She's got some really interesting logics and, you know, stories behind her, and, you know, it's incredible knowing that she's almost, you know, she can hang with some of the strongest people. You know, she gets to hang with the Hulk, you know, because he's strong, he's one of the strongest ever, and, you know, Miss Marvel can hang with him, and, you know, he's almost as tough as Thor, as he said. I remember in Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers, I remember Hawkeye, you know, was talking to Wasp about her, like, database, whatever, saying she's as tough as Thor and almost as strong as the Hulk, and I was like, wow, that's great. And it was even proven that when the Avengers started splitting up in that episode, when the Skrulls were invading Earth, and Iron Man tried to tell the Avengers, but some of the Avengers were even capitalized as Skrulls as well, and then a hell would break loose between the Avengers, and Miss Marvel even did actually hold her own against the Hulk when she tried to attack her, you know, proving she is strong. So, yeah, it's interesting to know, you know what I mean? So, like I said, there's not really much that I can discuss about this character. I feel she's a bit of an underrated character too, because I feel she's not being used as much as she once used to be either, but she still has some meaningful roles left in her, just maybe, I don't know, like, I feel like the Marvel Universe goes back and forth with how they use her, you know, and especially with the fact that she's no longer Ms. Marvel anymore and now is Captain Marvel, it could be a little bit of an interesting on where they might go with her, you know what I'm saying, but other than that, she's a great character, you know, she's a character that does mean something in the Marvel Universe. I don't know if there's any, like, well, I mean, there are some people that are questioning about her future in the MCU right now, you know, and as well as even wondering if she'll be featured in games or more animated series and related wise, because I don't see her currently being used right now, but we'll see where it goes, you know what I'm saying? I can't really say too much about it. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, I like the character regardless, even I don't care about her that much either, but I do like her, you know, she's got some meaningful roles in her arsenal, and she's a pretty powerful and very strong character, you know, she's very tough, so I don't see why I can't like this character, you know what I mean? But anyway, I don't really have much else left to say about her, so I'm just gonna go right on ahead and just get right into this. This should be an interesting video. By the way, and as usual, I will be checking out Generation West's video and then Behelit89's video. If you guys are still wondering why I check out Generation West's video first, because his are like older, and then Behelit89 is kind of a more current voice comparison video. Behelit89 only does the animated voices, he doesn't do live action wise, so that's another reason why I like to do Generation West's first, because he also may possibly cover the live action people as well, so you know. And you could tell it's older because this is Generation West's video, so you could see that he only listed it as Miss Marvel, and then when we get to Behelit89's video, he listed it as Captain Marvel, because at that time, you know, when he uploaded the video, Carol was being defined as Captain Marvel, so you'll be able to tell by then. So that's why, if you guys haven't already seen the thumbnail for this video, that I listed it as Captain Marvel / Miss Marvel voice comparison, because, you know, it's going through kind of like, because, you know, it's still the same person, you know what I mean? Because we're kind of looking back at her as when she was both Captain Marvel currently, and then when she was previously Miss Marvel before she got her name changed, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of an interesting history for Carol, but yeah. This should be another interesting one. Like I said, these voice comparison videos are always fun to check out, so let's see who is going to be up on the list. This should be pretty good. I don't really have much else left to say about this character other than what I said, so let's just get into it, shall we? So like John Cena and Triple H always say, your time is up, my time is now, it's time to play the game. Let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Captain Marvel / Miss Marvel voice comparison in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Just to let you know, I did try to find out if there was a Kamala Khan Miss Marvel voice comparison, but there isn't, so. So in case if you guys were wondering if I was going to do a Kamala Khan Miss Marvel voice comparison video, unfortunately they don't have one for Kamala Khan yet, because she hasn't been featured that much compared to Carol yet, so we'll have to wait on her. Apparently her first appearance was in 1992 in an animated series.
I'm taking over this mind and this body. Finally, Miss
Sure.
Marvel is free.
That is a classic Miss Marvel outfit anyway for her when she was Miss Marvel, so that's a classic suit, you know, the Warbird suit as it's called. But yeah, thumbs up for this voice. I think that's the original X-Men show, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the original one.
You took away everything I had, everything I ever was. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Sorry doesn't give me back my life. This ends now. I've been a
Oh yeah. Yes.
I became Miss Marvel after being
I did kind of barely forgot. I don't know, it's just, I barely did forget, or almost forgot, but I do barely remember that, yeah, she was in Ultimate Alliance, you know, you could play as her.
And let's not forget when I went.
I don't know why I almost forgot she was in Ultimate Alliance. Or, oh, and she was in Ultimate Alliance too, and it was the same woman, April Stewart. Cool. I played as her only a few times in Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. I didn't play as her that much, but she was okay to play as. But yeah, thumbs up for April Stewart's voice, though.
The time I threw down.
Those are both great games anyway. Both of the Ultimate Alliance games.
Jessica? No. Whoa, Jessica. It's okay. It's me. It's Carol. No. Hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, it's me. We heard about the Thunderbolts thing. We figured you were in trouble. We came to
The
help.
key to being the voice of Carol, aka Miss Marvel, aka Captain Marvel, is to like have a bit of a serious voice, kind of, because she does take it seriously. She can sometimes be a little funny at times, and maybe sometimes have a little fun on the job, I think. But she's mostly always about being serious, so as long as you got that serious sounding voice like here, that's what works for being the voice of Carol. Except for this woman. Obviously, you already know the Superhero Squad show doesn't really use the characters in serious ways. I mean, they're meant to be heroes that take things seriously, but a lot of the voice that they do choose for these heroes don't really make them serious because it's a kids show, so, you know, they're trying to make it fun, so, except for this woman. But, yeah, obviously, you know, I'm not a big fan of Superhero Squad, the show that is. The game on the Wii's fun, but the show just... You know, I could care less about it, but I did see a few episodes where Ms. Marvel, as she was still called then, was featured in the Superhero Squad show. This woman, Grey DeLisle Griffin, or however you say her name, she also did voice the Enchantress as well in the series, you know, Amora the Enchantress as well. I think she's had a few other roles, but Ms. Marvel was probably her most well-known voice in this show, but I don't really care that much. I mean, when it comes to the video game, I'm fine with it, but for the series, I'm not the biggest fan of it, so... But I'll give it a maybe, because in the video game, if you guys have seen my gameplay from the Wii game, you know, the voice was more serious then, but then in this TV show, it's not sounding nearly as serious in the show compared to the game, so... The game's a bit better, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I only give it I feel like I want to give it a thumbs up because of the game, but unfortunately because they're mainly talking about the show version, because it did start off as a show before it became a game, it's kind of more of a maybe, so out of respect I have to give this one a maybe. I have to. Like I said, game was good, but the show, not so much, so just a maybe out of respect for this one.
This is $1 billion sky-based Falcon!
I mean, even though the show is mainly... I mean, like I said, the show does at least have some funny moments, at least. That's why I was laughing there, because you heard that voice, but you still can't really take it seriously, though.
You're in charge here, Tony. Tell me why I should let this continue. I'm watching you, hot dogs. Don't forget it.
Even in this show, she does still take things seriously, but not as much as... Like here, not as much as like this one here, Jennifer Hale, yes! I know Jennifer Hale was in my Scarlet Witch voice comparison. I think I listed her as one of my favorites for Scarlet Witch. Kind of really honestly didn't know she was Miss Marvel in the Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers show as well, because I don't keep up with all the voice actings from this show, so that's cool to know that apparently she was the voice of Miss Marvel in Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers. Alright. But yeah, definitely double thumbs up. Like I said, I think she was one of my favorites for Scarlet Witch when I did the Scarlet Witch voice, because I know she was in that video. But yeah, apparently she was the main Miss Marvel voice. Cool. But yeah, fantastic show, as I said plenty of times. I've mentioned it plenty and plenty of times. You already know that anything from this show I'm giving a double thumbs up to, because that's just one of the greatest Avengers shows of all time. And I think in Season 1, she only appeared as Carol, but then Season 2 was when she was being introduced as Ms. Marvel. But yeah, the suit's pretty cool too. They actually talked about her appearance in Season 2 as well, you know, talking about the reason why they went with the, hang on. Yeah, like in that, I have the Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers Volume 1 series, where it was like the beginning of Season 1, and they talked about, like, Season 2. I think they talked about, you know, Miss Marvel being in Season 2, and they talked about the costume they decided to go with it, because you can see they kind of didn't go with the Warbird suit, and they went with, like, classic Miss Marvel, because of the red and blue and all that. And they explained it as well, because they thought it would be appropriate for her to appear in here, and honestly, the choice of her appearing in her original suit wasn't really that bad of an idea, honestly, because you know, it became iconic, you know, once she started appearing more later in the series, you know, because red is always pretty classic for her, you know. It was one of her very first suits, you know. The original suit was where she had a, even in the original suit as well. Well, in the original suit, when she originally wore this costume, it was originally meant to show her midriff a little bit. If you don't know what a midriff is, it's where it's like, you know, a little bit of like the body and like the stomach and all that. So she wore this suit for the very first time in the comics. Her hair was just a little bit shorter, and you know, it looked exactly like that, except she had a little bit of her stomach showing, like a little cut in between her stomach was meant to like show off her midriff, you know, her belly button and stuff like that. But eventually, a little bit later, they decided to update it where that stomach would be covered up, and then she would wear a full suit. You know, it would be a full body suit where no stomach or belly button would be showing. You know what I'm saying? So they decided to cover it up. Then, if you guys don't believe me, you can look up on Google and search up all of Miss Marvel's Carol's Captain Marvel's costumes over the years, and they'll even show that as well, where it was the same, you know, they'll show her original suit was like that, where she had her stomach showing and all that, and then, you know, later, then they decided to cover it up with it being a full body suit, you know, kind of, you know what I mean, and then, you know, the Warbird suit, and then Binary, and then just everything, you know what I mean, you like go through the entire history of her costumes and appearances, so just thought I'd let you know about that in case you didn't know, but it was pretty cool. It was kind of a good decision for her to bring her old costume back. Plus, that symbol on her even does represent what she is now as Captain Marvel as well. That's like her current symbol as Captain Marvel. At the time being, the lightning bolt, as you're seeing back there, was her symbol as Miss Marvel. But now that she's Captain Marvel, it's pretty cool. Like this would be the symbol, you know, because I like how the fact it kind of represents her future. You know, it kind of really represented like what her future was going to be, and then she becomes Captain Marvel. So it's interesting to know. But yeah, quite a history for Carol, you know. But indeed, I think it was a bit of a smart decision that they went with the original costume for her appearance in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because, you know, red and blue is always a classic for Miss Marvel, and it's become an iconic look, you know, now that she's Captain Marvel, so I can roll with the idea when they decided to do that. It kind of paved way for her to become, to where she started to eventually years later, then she'd be transitioned over to become Captain Marvel, so it was kind of a good setup for her to knowing that her future was going to change as Captain Marvel, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, double thumbs up. Jennifer Hales is definitely one of my favorite voices for Captain Marvel / Miss Marvel.
What was your squadron name?
102nd, the best of the best. Major Carol Danvers, call sign Warbird.
Carol Danvers, yeah, I got it right earlier. Carol Danvers.
They knew I was a big believer in law and order. Without rules, we got nothing. Hawkeye, Clint, I need you to come with me.
What are you talking about?
I may be an Avenger now, but I'm also an agent of S.W.O.R.D. This is what we do. If Nick Fury thinks you're one of these Skrulls, I need to bring you in for interrogation. Those are the rules.
Sorry, but yeah. Excuse me, sorry about that. But as I was going to say, the voices that I was hearing of Jennifer Hale's voice for Miss Marvel in that Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers, I remember that episode. That was the episode where Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, officially joined the Avengers, but in that same episode, that was when Iron Man would be taken by Black Widow in disguise, and Nick Fury would return to reveal the Skrulls invaded Earth, and then the same night, you know, when Iron Man went to Avengers Mansion to try to tell the Avengers that some of them might have been replaced by a Skrull, you know, unfortunately it would turn sour, and then, you know, all the Avengers split up, and it was kind of sad for Carol because she just joined the Avengers, and, you know, the welcoming party just turned sour after when the Skrull invasion happened, so I remember that episode. And yeah, I did completely forgot she was an agent, you know, before she was Miss Marvel, so yeah, interesting to know. Anyway, here's this woman. I remember she was in my previous voice comparisons as well, Daniela Nicolette? I think that's how you say her name?
Marvelous. Like that? Take a hint. On today's menu, all you can eat defeats. I didn't know I was looking for one of these.
I'll say maybe for that one. Okay, so that's everybody in, Behemoth 89, no, Generation West's video. I almost messed it up again. In my Vision voice comparison, I almost messed up saying Behemoth 89 when I meant to say Generation West. I almost messed up again. That's everyone in Generation West's video. Now let's head on over to Behemoth 89's video and check out who's in there. Obviously, I can tell Behemoth 89 is going to have a lot more since his is Captain Marvel, so we'll see. Because like I said, this one in Generation West, it was only Miss Marvel. He didn't make an updated video where she was known as Captain Marvel, so he probably should, though. Generation West should make an updated version one day, but yeah. let's head over to Behelit89's video, and as I said, I know he's gonna have a lot more because his video is titled Captain Marvel, and you know they're gonna mostly go with more, and you know they're gonna have a lot more of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel in that one. So let's check it out. Alright, here we are, Behelit89's video, and like I said, it's titled Captain Marvel, so I'm gonna expect there's gonna be quite a few more people in this one, and it'll most likely go with Carol as Captain Marvel. Like, obviously, with the pictures being shown, it'll show her as Miss Marvel as well, but with her now being Captain Marvel currently in the Marvel Universe, it's gonna definitely include some more where she's now known as Captain Marvel. So let's take a look and see. We did X-Men, we did the Superhero Squad, Earth's Mightiest Heroes Avengers. Here we are, so yeah, it's the same people from the last, so those first few people are seeing the same videos as Generation West, so this is where we're going to leave off now. So now let's head on over and check out some more.
I'm the boss of space.
At this point in time, this is where she was officially starting to become Captain Marvel.
Stay fly. There should be a handbook for this. No one.
You can even tell by the costume as well, that's her Captain Marvel look.
Give up. I'm regretting
that mask was kind of, I think, meant to pay a little bit tribute to the original Captain Marvel, the male Captain Marvel, but eventually time progressed and they decided to remove that mask and then she'd be fighting without her mask on. Whether she wears that mask or not, she still looks good either way, but originally I used to like her better with the mask, but I'm kind of actually starting to like her a little more without the mask, because I feel the mask maybe isn't actually as necessary, honestly, so I'm kind of actually starting to move on from that mask too. I'm like, you know what, maybe the mask isn't necessary anymore. She could fight without it, so I'm like, okay, I actually maybe start to prefer her without her mask.
This already. Time to improvise.
Oh, this is Avengers Academy. I didn't even realize that. Okay. I wonder what her student look was like. Fortunately, they won't show that, though, because I think only Generation West does that, but curious to wonder what her student look would look like. But for this one, I'll give it a maybe. I remember Hannah Lore. I think Hannah Lore was in one of my previous voices. It doesn't matter, but I think she was in one of my previous voices as well. A lot of the same voice actresses and voice actors usually do reappear in some of my later videos, you know what I'm saying?
I always wanted to fly.
I always tend to find it with a lot of the female characters I check out that a lot of the same ones that were in my previous videos tend to return, and you know, they get featured in other playlists for characters they voice. But anyway, this is something I still be wondering what this is about. Marvel TLDR, what is that? If anybody knows what this is, please let me know, because I literally have no idea what this is at all.
Outer space. I don't know, Spike.
That was too short. I need to go back to that.
Now we're talking. I always wanted to fly. Back off, buddy. I should probably be protecting outer space.
Maybe for that one too. The one thing I don't like about this design for Captain Marvel is the fact that she looks more like a man than she does as a woman. I mean, I know that she has, like, when she became Captain Marvel, Carol did cut her hair and she had shorter hair, but the way how it looks and the way how the face design looks, this really makes her look way more like a guy than he does as a girl. Like, look at her. Doesn't she look more like a boy to you? She really looks more like a boy. I was willing to believe, at first when I saw this, I was like, is that really her? Because that looks more like a guy. But yeah, whatever, but still, maybe.
I don't know, Spidey. I'm brave when it comes to most things, but trying unusual food combinations isn't one of them. You here to watch the launch? My pilot buddy Ruth is captaining the mission, so I offered to monitor perimeter security. Ground control, this is Captain Marvel. You have to blast off. Ground control, do you? Guidance systems are down.
That sounds a bit more serious, so sure, I'll give it a thumbs up.
Astronauts on board. Nothing to be scared of.
Sounds a bit more
Spidey.
serious.
Besides, you web swing above skyscrapers all the time.
It's got a little bit of, like, jokes going in, but at least the voice sounds more serious.
Strange. Last
Oh.
intel on Atuma suggested he didn't have the resources to be any real.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot she was in the first LEGO Marvel Superheroes. I think she actually was. Or maybe this is LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. I know that Carol, was definitely in the second LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Plus, you know, you could switch her around where you can have her play as her where she has her mask on and without her mask. So I think this is the first LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Because, yeah, she didn't have that hairstyle when you play as her in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 without her mask. So, yeah, this is the first LEGO Marvel Superheroes. So, yeah. What was the voice like again?
Threat. Corporate criminals. Why would they back Atuma's invasion plans? Unless they know something we don't. Still doesn't add up. What was it?
Yeah, sure, it's alright. Obviously, this is to resemble more of Brie Larson because, you know, Brie Larson is the current Captain Marvel in the MCU. And you could tell by that hairstyle and the face design, you could tell this is meant to resemble Brie Larson, you know. So this is Brie Larson, Captain Marvel in Lego form. So you could tell where they were going with this Lego design for her. Okay, I'm back. I looked back and I think this was based off a movie, because I think they made a Lego Marvel Superheroes movie, a short movie. I think this is where this is from, because I looked in the video game and, nah, I was wrong. In Lego Marvel Superheroes, Carol was not Captain Marvel. She was Miss Marvel, because, you know, she had the classic black mask and had the Warbird suit. That's what that suit is mostly called, the Warbird suit. So, no, she was Miss Marvel in the first Lego Marvel Superheroes game. This must have been like a movie or something. This is probably was most likely a movie, because like I said, in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Carol was Captain Marvel, and then, you know, she had the costume and all that, the Captain Marvel suit, and then even the short hair. So this must have been a movie, because that would explain this hairstyle. But still, either way, still meant to resemble Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. But anyway.
Why attack now?
Watch out!
Huh? Let's get back and debrief. There's something bigger going on here.
Honestly, I like that Lego body more better than the actual ones, because the one from the actual Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 game, it actually doesn't look nearly as closely to resemble Brie Larson as this one does. Well, I guess they just decided to make this one be Brie Larson. In Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, they wanted to make it its own Lego design, because in Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 and even in Lego Marvel Avengers, they were trying to go with the MCU stuff, but in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, you know, it wasn't meant to resemble some of the MCU stuff, although they did go with, like, Tom Holland's Spider-Man design for Lego, but, you know, but they're not trying to make it look like them, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's just move on. I can't even really talk.
I'm pretty much the boss around here. Try this
Marvel
on.
Powers
Catch
United
some napalm
Virtual
in that
Reality.
one.
I don't think I've ever heard of that game, but apparently Laura Bailey was the voice for her.
I'm pretty much the boss around here. Try this on. Catch some napalm in that one.
Sure, that's not too bad, I
You don't
guess.
write, you don't call.
It's not too bad.
I know. I'm sorry. What is
I've never heard of this either. Marvel Rising Secret
I want
Warriors.
you to tell me everything later. But based on that intel you gave me, we need to get this show on the road.
cute? The good news? That cruise ship hasn't moved since you sent me its coordinates. So at least we know where to find those missing kids.
Eh,
Bad news?
I guess this is alright too, sure.
Don't worry. It's this doppelganger of mine who keeps popping up
Marvel
all over
Future
the place.
Avengers.
Well, no.
Okay, this is an animated series or something. Okay, this is clearly an animated series, because you could tell by that design, that's an animated series. Yeah, I know that they did made, like, Marvel animated series where it's made to look like anime, so... I don't really watch a lot of them on YouTube, but I've seen a few clips before, so clearly this is an anime version of a Marvel super series, obviously. Like, I mean, you already knew that. I didn't even have to say it, but clearly this Marvel Future Avengers show is apparently an anime series. It's really weird seeing them in anime design, because, you know, you think that with such iconic characters from Marvel and DC, you'd ever think you see them in anime form, since that's mostly known for Goku and Dragon Ball or even other famous anime series. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy and really weird to see the Avengers and other Marvel heroes in anime form.
Helping people. Yeah, but I haven't told you the worst part. She's kind of complicating things with my fans. Now, thanks to her, everywhere I go, I get swamped by autographs.
But that voice is pretty good. I'll give it a thumbs up too to Erica Lindbeck. I remember I don't remember which one it was, but again, I remember Erica Lindbeck being in one of my previous voice comparisons too. Rebecca Holy! This is definitely what I not expected. Oh, turn the heater off, it's getting hot. Holy, you know what? Rebecca Shotshit? Or if that's how you say her last name, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Rebecca Shotshit? I'm really sorry, I don't think that's right, but Rebecca? Really? Wow. This was totally unexpected. I did not expect this whatsoever. Never heard of that Marvel series, by the way. Marvel Battle World, Mystery of the Thanos Stones. Never heard of that. The design for Miss Captain Marvel here kind of makes her look almost like kid form, but Rebecca? My god, that surprised the heck out of me. This just surprised me legit. I was not expecting this at all. This was a complete shock. Jeez, but I love Rebecca. I really do love her a lot. She's a talented voice actress. If you guys know about me being a My Little Pony Equestria Girls fan, then you know exactly what my favorite role for her is, and that is, of course, the one and only Sunset Shimmer. Forever will love Rebecca as Sunset Shimmer, and I still do have some love for her as Twilight Sparkle's singing voice as well, since also Rebecca did the singing voice for Twilight Sparkle whenever there was songs playing. So I love her as both Sunset Shimmer and Twilight Sparkle's singing voice, but mostly Sunset Shimmer. Not to mention, Sunset Shimmer is my favorite character in the Equestria Girls, so will forever love Rebecca as that. I really would love to meet Rebecca if it's ever possible, too. Who knows? Maybe they might announce that maybe she might appear in HarmonyCon next month. That would be great if so. I don't know if she will, but that would be great if she does appear in HarmonyCon next month. Maybe they'll make an announcement about that, because early this year they announced that Nicole Oliver, the voice of Princess Celestia and Principal Celestia, is going to appear at HarmonyCon next month, and Alex and I are looking to hope that we could try to attend the event to meet her and maybe even Joey O, the Pony Meets World Series creator, which, you know, I reacted to the Pony Meets World Series last year. And, you know, other bronies as well, like Step 2 Harmony, Minty Root, Lightning Bliss. You know, we love to attend the event. So if lucky enough, maybe they might announce Rebecca could show up, but you never know. But Rebecca's kind of a busy person, so she might not, but it's okay if she doesn't, though. But I'd love to meet her one day if it's possible. But yeah, I will always love Rebecca as Sunset Shimmer, though, in the end. But as Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, I don't know. I haven't heard the voice yet. Let me see. As soon as I saw her name, I was just completely shocked. So let's see how this is.
We can find out. Keep me posted on what you find. I'll do the same. Thanos' ship? You gotta be kidding me! Ugh. We all need to regroup back to the neutral zone.
Yeah, she actually sounds more like Sunset Shimmer here. She's not really making her voice sound different. She's doing exactly her Sunset Shimmer voice. As soon as I heard those clips, I was laughing because, no, that's not even Captain Marvel. That's legit Sunset Shimmer. She's legit doing her Sunset Shimmer voice right there. She's not even using her Captain Marvel voice impersonation. She's just being Sunset Shimmer. Because sometimes when some of the voice actresses and actors, whenever they get a role for a different character, they don't change the way they sound in their voice. They use it the same way. Like Gregory Sipes, for example. Like Greg Sipes, for example, when he voiced Beast Boy in Teen Titans, he used the same tone of voice he used for Beast Boy to voice Michelangelo in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 Nickelodeon series. And that worked, you know? And sometimes it can work, you know? When you use the same voice you did for a previous character to use it with a new character, it can sometimes work. And it worked for Greg Sipes when he did Beast Boy and then transition over to Michelangelo. And with Kevin Michael Richardson as well, whenever he does some of the demon voice, like when he did his Shredder voice, Trigon voice from Teen Titans, he would use it for the Shredder in the same series, and that worked too. There's a few other actors that have done that before, you know, they use the same voice. Josh Keaton kind of sometimes did that before too, like, you know, like he did that with Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man, and he actually voiced the DC character called the Black Spider, which was in Young Justice, and it didn't really exactly work, but, I mean, it was interesting. It didn't work because it was just Spider-Man, but it kind of sort of was awesome at the same time because, you know, it makes sense because DC has its own version of a Spider character, and so for Josh Keaton to get the role was kind of actually interesting. There's quite a few other actors that I'm pretty sure that I know of that use the same voices that they did for a previous character and reuse them for a new character, but sometimes it does work and other times it doesn't. I only just started laughing because, as you heard, I just started laughing because as soon as I heard those voice clips, I knew exactly right out of the gate she's not trying to do Captain Marvel. She's just being Sunset Shimmer. She's just using her Sunset Shimmer voice for Carol. I mean, Sunset Shimmer takes things serious too, you know, don't get me wrong. She can be a serious person at times, you know, she represents empathy, but I don't know if this really works here for Captain Marvel. I may have to listen to it again. I don't know if this is working. Let me see.
Well, that didn't work. We can find out. Keep me posted on what you find. I'll do the same. Thanos' ship? You gotta be kidding me! Ugh. We all need to regroup back at the neutral zone. I found Thanos. Hope you don't mind me messing up your little plan, Iron Man.
Always leave room for some improv, I say.
Hulk.
Bring it. I call it victory. I guess the gauntlet's on the other hand now.
And some of these clips, you know, and some of the voices like you heard right there, I can hear a little bit of her voice changing a little bit to try to sound like Carol, but in the end, she still sounds like Sunset Shimmer, though. She doesn't really, her voice doesn't, change that much. I know Rebecca's done some other voices before, and her voice changed then. You know, she did a different voice to sound like the other characters in, but here she's just kind of really sounding like Sunset Shimmer. She's not really changing her voice to sound like Carol at all. You heard with the and all that, that sounded like Sunset. And then, you know, when she was freaking out, that sounded like Sunset too. But in other times when she's talking normally, it sounds a little bit like if she was trying to be Carol. But in the end, she still kind of sounds like Sunset Shimmer. So, out of respect, I'm going to give it a maybe. I love Rebecca, but for this, I have to give it a maybe. I have to just give it a maybe. I don't think her voice for Sunset Shimmer is going to really work for Captain Marvel, because it's not the same. Because Sunset Shimmer, while she can be serious, she likes to have fun at times as well. So, I don't think that's really going to work for Captain Marvel. So, I have to say maybe. I'm sorry, I really kind of hate having to say that for Rebecca because I love her, you know, because I love Sunset Shimmer, the character. So I really hate having to give her a maybe for Captain Marvel, but it's just out of respect. It's just out of her being Captain Marvel, though.
What will you do to me?
Okay, that was it. I really was not expecting Rebecca. That shocked me a lot, but yeah, her voice, because she still sounded like Sunset Shimmer in the end with her voice for Captain Marvel, it didn't really work, so it was just a maybe, as I said. Because if you heard of Sunset Shimmer, if you heard of her, or if you even saw My Little Pony Equestria Girl clips of what the character sounds like, you'll understand why she still kind of just sounds like Sunset Shimmer and doesn't really sound like Captain Marvel there, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, that was everybody. Obviously, I was curious to wonder if the live-action Captain Marvel was going to be included in Generation West's video or not, because some of his videos, you know, in his early videos, he didn't include the live-action people, but then in later videos, he starts incorporating the live-action people that played the characters. Clearly, this was old enough to where apparently they didn't have the live-action one, or maybe she was, or maybe at the time being when this video was made, maybe the actress who plays Captain Marvel in the MCU maybe wasn't present then yet, but I don't know. But I gotta go ahead and mention her first since she wasn't in the video, and that's Brie Larson. As you already knew, I was gonna mention Brie Larson regardless whether she was gonna be in any of the videos or not. For Brie Larson, unfortunately, not everybody's a fan of her Captain Marvel. Brie Larson's been facing quite a ton of criticism and backlash for her performance as Captain Marvel ever since she got the role. I don't know, maybe if Brie Larson was already maybe going through something maybe before she got the role, if she was already becoming an underrated actress or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just because, or I don't know if it was that, or maybe just as soon as she got the role, her performance was just immediately being criticized by fans because it just wasn't maybe working out the way how they present Captain Marvel in the animated series and video games and stuff. Like, her performance isn't looking as good, like she's using enough performance to really make her feel like the character as compared to when they use the character Carol Danvers in animated and video games. I don't know. But she's been facing tons of criticism and backlash for a long, long time ever since she got the role, and although I haven't seen the Captain Marvel film, I might most likely never will see it, and I know that I know next month they're making The Marvels movie. There's a movie called The Marvels where it's going to have both Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel in there, so we'll talk about both of them, I guess. I've seen only just a select few films that Brie Larson's Captain Marvel has been in. I've only remember seeing her in Avengers. I think it was Infinity War. I think she was in Infinity War, I think. And I know she was in Endgame as well. Those are probably the only appearances I can remember watching her in the MCU. I didn't see her own solo movie or anything else. But from what I've seen from Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, just seeing her performance and all that, I will have to agree with most people, and it's most likely going to have to be a maybe for Brie Larson. I'm giving her a maybe. I agree with most people. You know, I remember even watching James Universe's voice video, like before James Universe decided to change his channel name and take down his reaction videos because he didn't want to do anymore. Like, if you heard of James Universe, then you know what I'm talking about. But James Universe did do some voice comparison videos, and I remember he gave Brie Larson a maybe too when he did the Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel voice comparison, which I agree, it's a maybe, because for Captain, like I said, for Brie Larson, her performance hasn't really been living up to the hype for most people, and it hasn't really lived up to the hype for me anyway either. Even though I still don't really care about the character that much compared to others, but still, seeing her performance, it really hasn't exactly been working as good as compared to what it should be, compared to some of the other actors that have played the MCU superheroes. So, yeah, Brie Larson isn't really quite stacking up to the hype for fans, and including myself, so her performance is a little bit stale. It's not maybe sounding like she's being as serious as the actual character, so her performance really is a bit stale, and it really isn't living up to the hype for me either. So out of respect, I will agree with most Marvel fans, and I'm going to give Brie Larson's Captain Marvel a maybe. So for that being said, for me ranking Brie Larson's Captain Marvel as a maybe, that means she is not my favorite for live-action Captain Marvel. If she does maybe do better, maybe in later Marvel films, then maybe she might earn my respect. But if it's just still the same as it was years ago, then it's probably just still going to be a maybe for her in the very, very end. I don't know if her performance is probably still going to be the same or not. I'm willing to believe her performance is probably just going to be the same in the Marvels film when that movie comes out next year in February, the Marvel film, The Marvels. I'm probably willing to believe Brie Larson's performance is probably just going to be the same in that movie either, and it probably won't change. It'll still feel stale. I don't know if I'll see that movie in theaters or not, but I'm maybe thinking about it. I have a little bit of thoughts about it because I'm kind of wanting to get to like Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel. You know, Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel's kind of interesting, you know, because she's not anything like Carol. She has different powers. She can stretch like elastic. She can, you know, she could be like Mr. Fantastic. You know, she's got different powers, and I'm like, okay, maybe I could actually grow to like Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel if possible, because she does look a little bit more somewhat interesting for me than Carol's Miss Marvel. I'm kind of actually looking like I'm getting into Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel a little more than Carol, so I could probably work with it, and you know, and I would like to see the series, since they did make a Miss Marvel series, and I didn't see it, unfortunately, and I haven't heard good reviews about it. I don't think a lot of people were a big fan of it, because I haven't heard too many people talk about it, but I would maybe get to see the movie just to see how the actress's performance as Miss Marvel is. So, I might see the movie. I don't know if I will, but I'll think about it. Yeah, so, yeah, with Brie Larson, as I said, being a maybe, she's not my favorite Captain Marvel, so I can't put her as my favorite for live action if I'm giving Brie Larson a maybe. So, my only favorites are just gonna be animated and video game wise voices for Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, slash Captain Marvel slash Miss Marvel. So, when it comes down to it, my favorites will have to be April Stewart, Jennifer Hale, who else? Who else do I like? I think that's just about it. And for Rebecca Shashiet, I gave her a maybe too, because like I said, her voice just sounded like Sunset Shimmer. She didn't really sound like Captain Marvel fully in some of the voice clips. So, just like Brie Larson, I'm giving Rebecca a maybe as well. But, you know, it's okay, but I'll still will give Rebecca an honorable mention, even though she got me a maybe. I'll still give Rebecca Shashiet an honorable mention because, you know, I love her because she's a great voice actress, and I do love her as Sunset Shimmer, so I'll give her an honorable mention. And of course, you know, I was going to give Brie Larson an honorable mention either way, whether she was in the video or not. And, you know, since she wasn't in the video, you knew I was going to mention her anyway, so... But yeah, Brie Larson is a maybe, so I can't rank her as my favorite live action. But yeah, I think that's just about it, though. I think it's only April Stewart and Jennifer Hale that are my two favorites for Captain Marvel slash Miss Marvel slash Carol Danvers. So it's only those two, April Stewart and Jennifer Hale's. Not a lot of picks, just two. So yeah, that's a pretty small picks, just with only two, but that's okay, though. So it's just those two that are my only favorites I can find right now for Captain Marvel slash Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers. So that's it. But anyway, it's time for y'all to comment below now. This video kind of did take a long time for me to go through. It's 42 minutes because I kind of had a lot to say about this character, which I apologize for. But anyway, now that my votes are in, now it's time for y'all to pick y'all's favorites and leave a comment down below and even start a conversation and even share it with your friends as well on who you love as Captain Marvel slash Miss Marvel, aka Carol Danvers. I like to know as well. And, yeah, that's just pretty much all I have left to say. So who do you love as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel slash Miss Marvel? Let me know in the comments down below. Start a conversation and share it with your friends. This was another interesting video. It was nice to look through Carol as both Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. It's quite a history for this character. But yeah, and also, if you'd like to, you can even comment down below. Because I actually am going to ask this question. What do you guys think? Do you think Brie Larson could do better in the future as Captain Marvel, or do you think her performance is going to be just as stale as it has been when she first debuted as the character in the MCU? Because, like I said, even till this day, Brie Larson is still facing a bit of criticism and backlash for her performance as Captain Marvel, and, you know, not everybody's living up to the hype for her, and not everybody's appreciating her nearly as much as the other actors in the MCU, so she still is getting a maybe for Captain Marvel, you know, and she does have a bit of hate for some people as well. So if you want to ask though, yeah, even answer that question below. Even answer my question in the comments down if you want to. Do you think Brie Larson will do any more better as Captain Marvel in the MCU before she hangs up her role? Or do you think her performance is just going to be as stale as it has been when she debuted, and it's just going to be like that for the rest of the time until she finally hangs up her boots as Captain Marvel, and she'll just forever stay underrated as the character and, you know, not do any better? I'd like to know. What do y'all think about that? Leave a comment down below. Answer what your honest opinion is for Brie Larson's Captain Marvel if you like as well. But anyway, there's nothing left to be said other than what I said. My votes are in. Y'all votes are now going to be determined. So there's nothing left to be said. I'm going to go ahead and exit this video now. I'm officially done. It's about 7:49. I already took a shower, so I don't have to worry about that tonight. I do have one more Marvel character for voice comparison that I'm going to do. A Marvel superhero, for that matter. I do have one more Marvel superhero I'm going to do for voice comparison reaction video. It'll be in the next video. And then after I do him, it is a he, by the way. And after I do him, that'll be it. I'm going to take another hiatus off of voice comparison videos, and then I'll probably most likely will turn my attentions over to the My Little Pony Meet series by Toucan LDM, or might even start checking out some solo My Little Pony videos, because I want to get back to checking more of them out. And plus, as I mentioned, My Little Pony is celebrating its 40th anniversary, and the Equestria Girls are celebrating its 10th anniversary. So I like to do something special for those things when they come up, you know what I'm saying? So I want to do more My Little Pony related videos again. And if any of you guys even know some My Little Pony related videos that I haven't seen yet that maybe you should think I should react to, leave a comment down below for that as well, if you even have some of that, because I'd love to get some more My Little Pony related YouTube videos reactions again, because I really would love to check some more out again soon. But anyway, my votes are in. Stay tuned for the next video to find out who the last Marvel superhero character will be for voice comparison before I take a hiatus off of voice comparison videos again. So I'll see you then in the next video, but until then, I'm out of here, y'all. So that'll be it for today, guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Dislike it, give it the thumbs down. Join me next time for the next video. To all you boys, men, and guys out there, fist bumps go to all of you. Excuse me. And to all the girls, ladies, and women out there, kisses go out to all of you. But until then, this is Joe Flash signing off, and have a good day.